Hello, my name is James. I'm a portrait photographer from Portsmouth in the UK. Welcome you to my studio and this latest video. Every Monday we're giving you a new lighting tutorial, and this Monday's no different. Now in today's video we're going to show you the 3 factors that help make an amazing studio portrait, and they are great set design, great hair, makeup and wardrobe, and hopefully simple lighting. And using that simple lighting, we're going to show you how you can use techniques with your lens choice to take this, we'll pick that flower up in a minute, to take this one set and give you a range of portraits without really moving the light and without doing anything too dramatic with your posing and your camera angle. Just simple techniques to give you much more variety from your shoots. Say hello to Zoe, everyone. There we go, that's all Zoe can say. We can't afford to pay her to speak anymore. And we've built a Bridgerton set here for Zoe. I want you to come and have a look at the effort that's gone into this. We've taken a colour palette of lots of blushes, lots of rosés, lots of pinks, hints of orange and accents of purple, and a little bit of green in there as well with these handmade flowers. I want you to get in real close and have a look at these handmade flowers here. Look how beautiful they are. We've aligned them with some cloth and draped it across to create different layers within this. There's a layer of cloth in the foreground and a layer of cloth in the background, and this is all for Zoe to have an amazing aspirational shoot in studio with sort of high fashion styling. I'm just going to pause there because I want you to step over that safely. There we go, perfect. We've draped a green floor, just a green backdrop, normal Colorama paper backdrop. We've just draped that across the floor to complete the full set. And we're going to give Zoe a high-end fashion experience in the studio now, which she's super excited about. So that's step 1 of making a great photo shoot. What's step 2? If we've built the set, we then need to design our fashion, our hair and our makeup around that to create something unique and something amazing. Zoe looks amazing anyway, which is great. We've just added a little bit of sizzle to the steak with the styling of the dress in this. Well, how would you describe that, the dress styling?
Marie Antoinette-esque.
Marie Antoinette-esque, that's what that is. Sort of vintage bodice style with the colours that also work, with the greens and the pinks working with the backdrop, hair and makeup all on point, looking amazing. So now the only thing that can fail in this, we've got an amazing background, we've got amazing styling. The only thing that can fail is the photographer and the lighting. Let's see what happens. What we're going to do is we're going to make things simple. Because of that, because we don't want to mess this up, we're not going to complicate this set with loads of different lights and loads of different lighting. We're just going to keep it simple with a single light setup. So what we've got here is we've got the Elinchrom ELB 500. It's on a power pack going all the way up to the strobe flash head at the top here. And we've got a huge octobox. This octobox I think is the 120, and if that's wrong, I'll put a little flash of text up here to let you know exactly how big this is. But it's over 1 meter in size, which means it's going to cover a massive area. In addition to that, it's not particularly deep. I like to use smaller, deeper octoboxes to really channel and control light in head and shoulders and half-length portraits. But if I want to do a full-length portrait, then I'm going to need a much more even spread of light, especially when we've built a set, to get an even spread of light across the whole set. And that's why we're going to be using this massive octobox today. I've put the LED light on inside, the modeling lamp inside, so I can see where my light is falling, but I know roughly it's going to be falling straight onto Zoe here and giving us a nice even spread of light. The position I've chosen to put my light first off is a position I often use on these videos, which is 45 degrees round from the subject, 45 degrees up from the subject, and then angled 45 degrees down. So if we come back and look at this wide, we'll see an arrow coming through the middle of the light, through the middle of the softbox, and it should just hit just above Zoe's eyes there, giving us light that mimics daylight, mimics sunlight. We want to mimic almost sort of a cloudy day today. Like imagine the sun's behind the clouds and it's giving us nice soft light throughout the whole picture. That's what we're going for here. So I'm just going to give it a little bit of an angle up there. We've measured this light out and we're going to be shooting today on our Canon EOS R6 I'm going to be shooting on a 24-105 lens first of all, because we want a wider lens so that we can capture the whole scene. We want a nice full length portrait here of Zoe with the whole scene behind working in unison to make a really creative portrait. We want to see everything: shoes, nails, hair, makeup, dress, background, all working together. And with a simple, big, soft light source, that's going to give us much more margin for error, and it's going to mean that we can then concentrate on the posing and the styling throughout. So with this lighting setup, we've set our camera up ISO 100 to give us the best quality, and we're shooting to a RAW file. We're shooting at a shutter speed of 160th of a second just to sync up, standard sync speed with this flash unit. And we've just gone f8 because I want to maintain a lot of detail, not only in the amazing Zoe, but also in the background. I want to see a lot of that background coming in, because we put a lot of time and effort into that, so that's going to form part of the structure of the picture with the depth of field, keep everything in focus there. So the first picture we're going to take, we've set the light up, we've measured it. Zoe's going to do a cool pose for us. I'm going to come down here and we're just going to take a full length picture, keeping everything in shot. 3, 2, 1, go. And there's your first shot coming in here. Very simple. Zoe looks amazing. And the set design is there. We've got all of the elements around her. We've posed her just in this gap. If Zoe actually takes a side step to her left, a couple of side steps that way, there's a lovely little gap in this set design, and that's where we want Zoe to stand, so that she's surrounded by these flowers and they're framing her within the picture. This set has been designed specifically with that in mind. The light's coming down, as we can see on the shot there, giving us a nice even exposure, just as I predicted, because it's a massive light source, and we're even getting exposure on that backdrop as well. So we're seeing all the elements working simply and easily together. Now we can continue to take a few shots like this. We're going to bring Zoe back onto her mark there, right in the set, and we can take a few more selection of images like this, just changing the pose every time we see a flash Zoe. Zoe's a very experienced model, despite the fact that she showed there that she could barely stand, but she's just going to do a couple of different poses there for us. One there, change it, and that's perfect. Look, do that pose again, but just look off camera to the left-hand side. Little parting of the mouth, there, lovely, and there we go. So with her face turned towards the light there, we get beautiful lighting across the face, but that lighting is even across the whole body and everything there. But how can we use this set to generate different compositions and different in-camera croppings that will give us a completely different feel to the shot? Well, the simplest thing to do is to change our lens. The first lens we use, the 24-105, it is my workhorse lens. It's my favorite lens, but we're just going to bid it adieu, bid it goodbye. Going to put it to one side here, and we're going to change it to this 70-200 lens. Now the 70-200 has got a much more longer focal length. The 70-105 will sit within the range of the previous lens, but once I start shifting that zoom up a little bit further, it's going to give us different compositions. So I'm just going to set this up here to 135 to begin with. That means I won't be able to shoot a full length portrait, because these previous ones here were being shot on wider focal lengths. This first one here was actually on a 50mm focal length for that original lens, and I can't get 50mm out on this. When I go to 70, which is the widest setting on this lens, and go from the same position, thank you Zoe, we will see that we're basically capturing half length. And that's great, because it's going to give us a different feel to the picture. Now, because I'm cropping into Zoe, the one rule I like to stick to on this, and it isn't a hard and fast rule, you can break these rules if you want, but generally I'm trying not to crop through joints. So I don't want to crop through wrists, I don't want to crop through elbows, and I don't want to crop through knees. I want to go either above or below, either keep them in or have them fully out, not right through. So I'm just going to shift my focal length up a little bit here to 100. We're going to get Zoe to do a couple of different poses, and we're just going to see how this looks here. Change it, little change over to horizontal, change it, that's it, last one there, 3, 2, and 1. Do one where we sort of get the hands around the face there. That's beautiful. 3, 2, and 1. And that final one there, we can see we've switched around to horizontal, because on the vertical, on the portrait crop here, we could see that we cropped out a lot of the set. So by switching it to horizontal, we still keep those flowers in. We still keep Zoe in that gap there where there's no styling, and we still have her framed with the nice fabric on the left-hand side and the flowers on the right-hand side, and we're still keeping on that theme. As you'll know, if you've seen any of my videos, I like to take things to an extreme. So let's go all the way up on this lens, all the way up to 200mm, and we're going to see what happens here. We're just going to take one shot here of Zoe just as she is there, 200mm, 3, 2, 1, go. Very boring pose. But with this here, the problem with this shot here is obviously we're not using any of the styling. We've gone so super close in with that focal length that we can't see any of the flowers, any of the design or anything happening in the background. So we're going to move Zoe so that she's posed in front of those flowers to give us a bit of texture and a bit of detail. So she's now going to take a small side step this way. So she's right there, right in front. You can go nice and close there with the camera and see how close and in front of those flowers she is. Now coming back here, we can see that Zoe's moved from her original posed position there in the middle to a meter on that right hand side, and we need to do the same with the light. Following the inverse square law, if our subject has moved further away from the light, the flash is going to be less powerful. And I don't want to affect any of my settings or change anything. I really like the way that light was falling on her. So I'm just going to move my massive softbox here a meter this way to follow her in. It's in exactly the same place as it was before in perspective, if that makes sense. I don't think in perspective is the right word. I'll put the word that I meant to put and say up as text for you to see now. 200mm set on the camera there. We're all the way up to 200mm. Zoe's going to do us a little pose here for me if we can. Something different with the hands, something like that. That's perfect. 3, 2, and 1. Keeping on that portrait cropping angle there. And we can see now with those flowers in the background, we have a lovely styled background with loads of texture, loads of form, and real analog proper styling in the background, real analog effects, things that actually exist to get our model in the mood and get our model, in this case Zoe, because we're using names in studio, to feel the prop and to feel the essence that we're trying to bring to the portrait, which will give you a little bit extra, which is really cool. The final little bit of sizzle on the steak here for this last one is we're just going to get Zoe just to do something with the hair here, with the hands. There we go. You see this? See this? Mirroring. When we do posing, how do I get my models to pose? We do a little bit of mirroring. That way's good. Yeah, that's fine. Do it like that. That's lovely. Now, if she looks straight towards me on this shot here, I can come quite a way back. We will see, hold that there, 3, 2, 1, go, that the light falls really, really nicely across the face. But because the light is on this side, we're just going to get her to turn the face and really twiddle the hair over to the side there for me. Little bit of a gasp with the part of the lips there for me. Eyes back towards me. 3, 2, 1. And now just hand underneath there for me. Turn the head this way with the hand under there. Eyes back towards me. 3, 2, 1, go. Beautiful shot. And we're really using that crop there. Because it's a longer depth of field, those flowers are slightly more out of focus. Even at f8, we've managed to get those flowers super out of focus in the background, which gives us a lovely soft feel to it. One last shot here, just to really just add a little bit of element. When you're thinking about cropping in camera, think about your rules of thirds as well. You can think about symmetry, think about asymmetry. In this instance, we're going to think about rules of thirds, and I'm going to come all the way back here. Zoe's going to take a small shuffle this way, only a fraction. She's only moving a little bit, and it's a massive light source, so I'm not going to move the light source to match. I'm just going to see if I can get away with it here. Same pose here, looking off camera, eyes off camera. And we're gonna bring the eyes back in towards me now. 3, 2, 1, go there. 3, 2, 1, go there. And there is a crop with a rule of thirds. Top heavy with the set design there, and with our subject slightly off to the left hand side, drawing our eye around the frame and giving us something a little bit different. We're just gonna see Zoe's reaction to this shot here. Have a look at this shot here. See what you think.
Oh wow.
She can't do it. She can't sound genuine. But I think that's a really cool. It's a lovely shot, isn't it?
Yeah.
Something lovely.
That was genuine.
Which is cool. If you've liked this video, then you can leave a like, you can leave a nice comment, or you can even subscribe to the channel if you want. You can visit nofussmus.com, have a look at some more of my training content. I'll take you through the one lighting setups, 2 lighting setups and 3 lighting setups. There's 3 courses for 1, 2 and 3 lights, and in each of those courses you get 10 completely different ways to light a face. Flow lighting, I just want to talk to you about the principle of light and the way that it makes us feel. We tend to use light in a way that it's always above the face. It's always placed at 45 degrees above, 45 degrees to the side, that kind of thing. We never really sort of light from low down and underneath. This is a thing in nature. This is a thing whereby as humans, we only ever see ourselves lit from above because the sun can't light us from below the horizon. It can only start at the horizon, which is eye level, and go up and over us during the day until it sets in the evening, giving you up to 30 different tools in your toolbox to take into your next portrait session. Zoe, tell them what they should do.
Like and subscribe.
Yeah, all the best.